Hey guys, UC here from iTradePrice. It is Sunday, October 23rd, just a little after 10 Eastern. Just was going to get started with this week's weekly video. All right, so always like to go to QQQ. Weekly view. Okay, so still higher time frame, down channel, right? Technically speaking, we did see a bit of a reversal, sort of a candle bar, right, with a higher low and a higher high right here. However, we still have to see a little bit of follow through to see, if this technical move had any legs, right? If it wants to give a follow through, 284.2 level, right? That seems to be the first initial target on the upside, and then we'll see if it wants to break above and wants to get towards 293 level, right? Because here's one touch point. There's one touch point right here where it bounced from initially when it was coming down, so it has some significance, 284.2. So watch that number on the upside as the initial target, and then 293.8 looks doable if it really breaks out above 285, right? On the downside, if we go daily view right here, looks like this whole 267, 268 area has been support, right? Like this one right here, because we have seen all these past 4 days, actually the whole week, right, almost getting bounced from all this time, all this area, right? I mean, every time the stock QQQ tried to break down below 267, it was not seeing any downside follow through below this level, right? So there's no structure here. So that shows you that this is a good support level that market has defended. And now if it can get above this one, right, we have a little bit of gap. So then that can be a good move above, a little bit of follow through towards the gap move. And then see if it wants to push towards this 284 level, as that is the structure resistance. And it could make this sort of, it wants to go up and make this right shoulder, and then eventually take this 284 level out, 285 level out, as that can be a sort of a neckline, right? And you can see if I go in an hourly view, right? Actually, let's even go further down. Let's say a 15-minute view, right? And if I zoom it out a little bit, so this was a good indication, sort of, because of it was making a flag-like pattern, and I think I did post that on Friday. The way it was breaking out, you could see there was literally no follow through to the downside in lower time frame. Any red bar, any red trend bar you see, there was no downside follow through. This was initial, right? But there was a weak follow through, right? You could see bottom wicks. Price is holding this structure right here, and then once it moved above this, this was sort of the mini intraday down trend line. Once it broke above that, it retested that and started just kind of climbing back up all the way. If you look at NQ, you could see, let's see if I can bring a 4-hourly view. Yeah, so this one, right? And actually it's really much better on the Ninja Trader, but not bad, this one, right? So you got this flag pattern, right? You have this touch points right here, two, and this was a third one, and this is where we saw the breakout, right? So that was nice. Now let's see if we kind of maybe pull back a little bit, hold this 250, 222 region, and then if we can push back up, that's nice. On the NQ, I think the target on the upside can be easily 566, and on the further strength, 730 looks doable based on the pattern, right? So it just needs to hold this 250 to 222 region, 1122 region. That's where so this immediate support level is for NQ. Okay, let's go to SPY, go to weekly view. So we got a bounce from this 357 level. Still sort of, I would say, not totally out of the woods yet, right? Still, this down trend line is just a little bit of overhang, right? If it can get above 380, then 388 is definitely doable. But this 380 region is the weekly resistance right now that it needs to get above. So this needs to be yellow, not blue, right? because weekly levels, we like to track it with the yellow color. So if it can get above that, then definitely, you know, this 388, 389 level looks doable on the upside. In the daily view, let's look at that. Still sort of flaggish breakout, right? And this 379.6, right? That's where we have the recent structure high from right here. If it can get above that, 389 looks doable. So a little bit of follow through, nice. We can see if we can play that move. On the downside, I really like to see it hold at least a 50% move down off this bullish Friday day. So probably around 371 to 369 can be a good pullback area to see if we can catch that, or if the price moves down and if we can go along there. Just nice from the risk and reward perspective, right? You always want to think from that perspective. So structure high right now 379.6, then monitor for further continuation up towards 389 as long as it holds 370. Okay, just for simple analysis. SPX, similar looking chart and view, right? Just like SPY, really need to get above this 3800 area, and then it can get really nicely above all that towards 3906, because that's where we have the structure resistance, because it was structure support before the price started falling down from there, right? Now let's see in a daily view. Again, flag breakout type kind of a move, but still needs to give a follow through above 3770, 3765, that area. You can see on Friday actually the price was trading just close to its weekly low, right, which was right here. So it went all the way up from this weekly low and give a nice close towards the weekly high. So that tells you you know, it has strength right now, and we can see a bit of a follow through to the upside towards 3906 as long as it can break above 3770, right? Just more bullish bars. These recent bearish bars were not really trend bars, so that shows you the pullback was weak towards the downside, and you know, the bullish trend bar has a better momentum to it. So if let's say a 4-hourly view, so this could be a channel, right? This could be a channel right here on the upside, with 3765 is the first level to look on the upside. Really like to see it hold 3720 on any pullback, just so that it kind of maintain its bullish structure above that level. Okay, Amazon, let's get into a weekly view. Not bad. Again, nice first you know, weekly bullish bar, right, with a higher low and a higher high, right? So again, just one bar does not tell you that it's a reversal, but we really want to consider the price action in the lower time frame to kind of, you know, try to get a better feel for it. So right now you can see in the lower time frame, right, this could be the left shoulder, head, and this could be the right shoulder in the making, with sort of maybe this one, or, you know, just for simplistic reasons, 125 can be the neckline, right? So this could be inverse head and shoulders, but for that to happen, really need to hold this 114 level, right? We saw the bounces from that area because that was the resistance on the way down. On the way down when the price wanted to get above that, right? This whole region here, and now this whole region right here is now acting as support. So on the upside now, right, we got this gap, so this can be a little bit of gap fill, and then see if we can get above this 122 towards 125 level. Okay, Apple, similar nice view, good strength, earnings coming up, so then definitely that can keep the volatility up, implied volatility, so options will be expensive till that time. And right when the earnings come out, the implied volatility goes down, so then that can just kind of, even if the stock price remains good, implied volatility can impact the price of the option. So just kind of keep that in mind. So right now, from technical perspective, it is attempting to get above the downtrend line. Right here is in the daily view, you can see it really nicely kind of closed above the downtrend line. You can see anytime it wanted to do that previously, right, it was getting rejected. So now it nicely went up and above that 147.5, right? We kept on saying that in the room. So now that was support, it acted as a resistance, and now it is where we saw the price pause, right? So now if we see a little bit of pullback, then when it goes back up, the price goes from red to green, right? That's your move to play at the top side, right? With this low of that bar being your stop loss. Again, if that's how the price plays out on Monday or Tuesday, something like that, right? As long as it can maintain its structure above the 50% retracement of this bullish day, Friday, that's good. Okay. In a, let's say, a lower time frame, if we draw right like that, let me see if I can bring the levels. It might sometimes. There you go, right? So this is where our channel right now on the top side, right? I really want to see it hold this 146 to 145 on a pullback to stay kind of bullish, because below that it can start kind of breaking down, and if it breaks this channel support, then of course it becomes weak. But 147.9 was our target on the upside. Okay, Tesla, everybody's favorite name. Weekly view, still weak, right? Even with the market bouncing and giving a good bullish trend bar close, this one has a top wick, right? And still sort of feels heavy, structure-wise, weak. Not a nice close on a weekly chart basis, right? More downside, series of these lower lows and lower highs, right? Trend is very strong, and now we got this first bounce, weekly green bar, but again with the top wick and not so much impressive looking view. Daily chart, similar story, right? More red bars, right? And the red bars, you do see the gap down moves as well. Not much, actually not at all any up gap up days, right? So that tells you it's still weak. Even the green days are sort of inside days, right? Inside days. So that means the strength does not let the price get above its previous day's high. So those are all just sort of attributes, right? So we have a little bit of gap fill here. So I would say let's drill into an hourly, something like if I bring the levels, yeah, so as long as it stays below 218, right, we can say that it's weak. And if it gets above 218, sure, you can play a little bit of gap fill move towards 222, right? But really, if you want to see it get bullish on a higher time frame, right, I don't think it gets bullish as long as it stays below 229, 228 level, right? Because that's the top of this bear flag. If it rallies towards that level, right, even 234, right, that would be a good short area, right? I would be shorting it around that if it rallies to that level. But of course, I'll play the upside as well, based on, but those upside I won't hold long, right? I would always raise my stop loss, take quick profits, things like that, as long as the higher time frame is on the bearish side. Okay, and in the bearish side, if it really breaks down, right, on a weekly view, really I think 182, 185 is your first touch bounce play, maybe, right? We have these multiple touch points here in the history, so then that can definitely be a support. But if it breaks through that, 167 can be a good one. 135, I don't know if it will go there, but if it does, that's definitely a long-term area to add to your portfolio. Okay. NVDA downtrend, still weak. We got this first, again, like a lot of other names, a weekly bar with a higher low and a higher high. That does not change the trend. The 1 week's price action. You really want to see multiple weeks like that, some good strength in the following month, and then really get above 136, 145. That's where we saw the major breakdown, right? So really, if we need to get above that, we can say, okay, yes, there's some sort of bottom here in the short term. Unless or until that happens, it's weak, still in the downtrend line. The higher time frame downtrend line can be the target on the upside if it bounces, but that's where you should be shorting the stock because of the risk and reward as well. If it breaks out from there, sure, you can take a quick stop loss, but if it goes down, then definitely that's a good risk and reward. You can always play like that. Okay, AMD still weak. weekly view, right? Nothing impressive here. Very small, weak bounce, still in our longer term down channel, right? You can see, and even within the longer term, you have this aggressive downside channel that we have had since the past couple of months, right? With lower lows, lower highs, and now we are seeing a little bit of side moves. This could be just a consolidation, retrace before it wants to go down, right? So if I go and see, let's say a 4-hourly view, right? This is your potential retrace, potential bear flag with the high being around 60, 61. So if it breaks out above that, I would see how it handles this 61 area. If it gets rejected there hard, then definitely it can just kind of fall down back like this one, right? So right now support around 55.7, resistance around 60, with the high with the area between 60 and 61 sort of the high end of the bear flag from risk and reward perspective if you want to trade in that zone. Microsoft weekly view, not bad, it's holding this 232 area, but like I say, higher time frame, still weak, below 250 psychological number, right? That's where we saw it break down from. That's where the support was right here all this time. When we saw the breakdown, this is where it happened. It gave a nice little bit of follow through, and now it's kind of bouncing a little bit. So really 250 is the psychological number on the upside that it can go towards. First touch resistance play, it comes down, see what happens, if it wants to break above or if it wants to keep going down, right? That's how you kind of plan for it, and then see if it price wants to play around that like that. Meta still in a downtrend, right? I think I've been saying, if you want to play the upside, if I go into a daily view, right, 136.4, as long as it is below that, the price structure remains weak, right? Because that's where we saw the breakdown from, right? This one right here like this, right? So 142, it broke down, tried to get back up, and this 136 level, right? That's where we saw these top wicks and rejection as well. So if it goes above that this time, definitely there'll be short covering towards 142. So that can be your move, right? But again, that's just one way of playing it. Of course, price doesn't have to act like that. But right now, just a broken chart, right? So that's only one play I see above 136.5. Other than that, it stays weak below 131, right? So something to keep in mind. Netflix, nice strength all week. This previous week on a weekly chart, it's just kind of breaking out, and that's where we saw the major breakdown from. So this could be in a play that if we see a nice bullish week, right? It had earnings, and after earnings, it really broke out above this whole consolidation, right? So I think I did post that view of the consolidation here as well. So if you caught that move, congratulations, really nice move. So good strength. Let's see if it gives a little bit of pullback and then wants to go back above 291 towards 300 at least. But right now, from chart perspective, remains bullish. Pullbacks can be bought, so we'll just have to see on a lower time frame where those pullbacks are. If I bring an hourly view, right, bring the charts, 281, 274 can be a nice pullback if the market wants to give that. But right now, after market, it's close to 291.2, so pretty bullish price action right now. Let's look at this last one, Google, weekly view. Still bear flaggish, right? Where when we played this bear flag breakout, and now it's retesting the support that it broke down from when that bear flag pattern played out, right? This 103 was the support, right? So now we have seen multiple touch points there in the past couple of weeks where we saw the price getting at least pause and rejection, right? So if it gets above 103.4, we know it's a nice long trade for at least retesting of this bear flag trend line, right? As long as it's below that, it could be weak structure where it's just retesting that 103.4 level, and it wants to keep on going further down towards, let's say, at least 92, and then 86 could be an an extension, but that's how we can plan it. Once above 103.4, some bullish structure, right? Still not totally out of the woods, but from a trade perspective, day trade perspective, you can always play that move to the long side, right? We'll definitely have some short covering above that because there are participants who are short from 103.4, and because that's the resistance, right? So anytime it goes above that, they'd be trying to cover their shorts, and that's can fuel the rally on the upside. But if it does not happen, then again 92 to 86 your downside targets on further weakness. Okay, so hope you guys like this week's little video. If you have any questions, comments, things like that, please do not hesitate to reach out. Okay, thank you. Have a good rest of your weekend.